something like
Hello, man. What's your name?
Tamara.
Tamara. What's your baby's name?
Swervo.
How'd you end up out this way?
Kind of both drugs and following a dude that turned out to be married. So that was fun. And then I ended up kind of stuck out here because my parents, both of them, had died within a year, like a couple months of me being out here. And then I not really connected to any of my extended family, so I really had no one to lean on really. And then obviously my boyfriend ended up being married, so I kind of ended up here alone.
So someone got you to come out this way because you thought they were gonna be with you?
Yeah, and then I ended up just on the streets, and I already had kind of an addiction to heroin for a while.
Okay.
And I hear there's only fentanyl, so up until honestly 2 months ago, I was hella stuck on Fetty, and it's just bad out here, man. I mean, I remember one of the first things someone told me out here was that all the girls out here, they go missing or freaking are found dead within a year or two. And that's why there's only for every 10 guys, there's one girl. So it's rough out here, but I mean, I just got lucky that I haven't been arrested or anything yet.
Where do you sleep at night?
Oh man, me and my friends were kind of infamous for making dumpsters and other things into freaking kind of spots, but during the rain, the last couple of weeks, man, it's probably some of the horrible days of my life. I didn't realize how privileged I was when I used to love the rain. Now, I used to see clouds, I started freaking dreading it.
Where'd you guys sleep during the rain?
Man, we couldn't even really sleep. We just had to keep moving because everywhere kept getting flooded and the cops were called. So
yeah.
I mean, sometimes you'll find a patio at the liquor store over here, but even then, once it stops raining heavily, they want you to move. So
tell me about your childhood.
Man, I was adopted from Colombia, and
You're adopted from Colombia?
Yeah, I grew up there until I was 5, and then I came out to the States, and then I lost my mom when I was 9. But otherwise, I had a really good life. I've traveled pretty much every continent. I've been all over the world. I graduated from Cal Poly and everything. It was just a lot of kind of mental health issues that went unchecked. So and kind of really dumb choices.
What'd you get your degree in?
In animal behavioral sciences.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I'm a vet tech.
So you're in a way to be a veterinarian?
Yeah, well, I'm a vet tech already.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of got depressed about that life because a lot of it's just money focused.
So as a child, what would you say? You had no traumas, or was it?
Oh no, I had hella traumas. Oh my god, no, way too much trauma. I mean, sexual assaults. I mean, abuse from both relationships and my dad.
So your adopted parents or your real parents?
My adopted parents.
So your adopted parents were doing these things?
Yeah, well, my mom was. My mom passed. My first adopted mom, she passed away, and then my dad remarried, and those my stepmom and my dad were the one who passed away when I was out here.
Okay.
So,
I don't mean to walk up all in your space, but the traffic, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, being homeless, I was homeless off and on since I was 15, but I was never on the streets up until I came out here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people do it, man.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's not sustainable for long. I understand why people out here go crazy.
How old are you?
24.
24?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still a baby.
Yeah. But,
what was some of the hobbies you had as a child?
I loved art. I loved drawing. I love drawing. Obviously, I love working with animals. I mean, I used to foster cats and dogs ever since I was a little kid.
Okay.
I was always really athletic. I loved playing soccer and a bunch of other sports. Yeah.
So besides that individual you followed out here, what are some of the examples of love you found out here?
Yeah, it's funny actually because some of the best examples of love I found out here. I kind of came here feeling kind of really abandoned and jaded, but there's so many people that have helped. I mean, you guys right now, funny enough, security guards have been I have really been kind of a strong figure in my life at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one that even helped me get a job recently. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're good security guards. They're good and bad people and bad ones, but I mean. There's people that have stopped by and given us blankets, giving us money. The other day a guy stopped by and just randomly threw us $200 for a hotel room because it was raining.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So we were able to stay there for 2 or 3 days. So it was cool.
When did you start doing drugs?
Since I was 13.
13?
Yeah.
On meth?
Yeah, on speed, and then I didn't do opiates until I was 19. But then I kind of just stopped doing speed because it doesn't really. I have ADHD. So
okay.
It kind of doesn't affect me like that, but also my baby dad, who I was like with for like 10 years, he kind of went crazy because of that. And
Oh, you have a child as well?
yeah, but we adopted him out, and he lives in Alaska. So I got really lucky. It ended up being an open adoption. So
Yeah.
I can interact with him, and like they're really like insistent on me and my baby dad being in his life, as long as like when we're
Yeah.
around the kid we're clean and stuff like that. So that's probably my greatest motivation to get up off the streets.
Oh,
I still get
okay.
to be involved in his life. But
How old is your baby right now?
he's 4.
Four.
He's
So you had him at 20.
I had him I was pregnant at 19 and had him right before my birthday.
Oh, I see.
No, I had him right after my birthday, so it was in a teen pregnancy. I remember me and my cousin were laughing about that.
So when you were an
I was pregnant
adopted,
at 19 and had him right after my birthday because he was born August 17th and I was August 1st.
when you were an adopted child, when did you find out that situation with that family wasn't going to be the best situation?
Like when did I decide to put him up for adoption, or?
Well, it's like you said that this individual is doing certain things. Like, how long did it take for you to like figure out this is not a good space for me to be in?
A long time. Like I have this problem where I block things out of my mind. So
Yeah.
it took kind of several therapists and like people that finally were intrigued enough to find out what was going on in my life and why I was acting out in certain ways to really ask me, and then I kind of realized everything that was going on.
Yeah, I see.
But and then that's kind of one of the biggest reasons I ended up on the streets. And after that, I just didn't want to be around like my dad or like anyone in my family really.
So what's your outlook on the future right now? What's the plan?
It's honestly it's been kind of depressing.
Yeah.
But, like it's just kind of one of those things where like you gotta know you're gonna get up out of here. Otherwise, like you get stuck. You get too complacent, or you kind of just give up.
Have a lot of these individuals, like the males, tried to
Oh man.
have they tried to like, you know,
Yeah.
not to get too personal, but
No,
like have
that's
they tried doing
no.
certain things to you?
Yeah, like if I didn't, because I have a guy in my house here, he's my boyfriend. Thankfully, he's like really well respected out here. If I didn't have him, like, yeah, no, I've almost been kidnapped. I've been like, I have been successfully raped different attempts, like multiple times. I mean, out here, like, we have a friend that she recently found like chopped up in a trash can.
Chopped up in a trash can.
Yeah, and we all know the guy who did it. He's different around here.
How? Okay, so if a female came out here right now, what would be some advice for you to give them to have them be safer? I guess I would say, instead of, you know,
I mean, if they're out here, hang out in groups, you know.
hang out with a group.
Try and find like strong male like figure that you could trust, you know, that can like, because a lot of people out here, like even on the streets, will take advantage of the fact that you probably need to be around a dude to protect you.
Yes.
And they'll be freaking creeps themselves. So it's
Oh, I see.
like, yeah, it sucks. But honestly, and try I really don't like shelters so much, but if you aren't like that street savvy and stuff, a shelter's probably your best bet. A women's shelter.
Yeah.
It's somewhere to go up all night. If not, you know, try and find somewhere like the Boys Burger restaurant over here.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they'll let me sleep inside the restaurant.
Oh, they will?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
If it's like raining really hard, or if it's like, yeah. So I mean, I try and find the security guard over here. He lets a lot of the females who, you know, are kind of just going through shit, just sleep in there. So a lot of times you want to find someone you trust that maybe at night you can sleep in, because at night when you're sleeping is when you're most vulnerable. But also just, you know, try and have like support
Yeah.
out here, because you're not freaking lose money.
What's the biggest message you can give somebody out here to stay off these streets?
I don't know if it's even to stay off the streets, but it's just to keep pushing, you know, keep moving on. You can't stay stagnant. That's when you like, even if it's because of trauma, even if it's because of mental illness or drug addiction, you know.
Yeah.
When you give up and stuff, like that's when you really kind of lost hope. And it might seem impossible, but you gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep, you know. Like
So you're on fentanyl now, or is it?
No, I actually was like freaking sober for off fentanyl for like freaking 2 months, but speed off and on.
So what's your drug of choice right now? Speed.
Yeah. But even that's like more just like I always say, drug addiction is usually more symptomatic of stuff than the actual issue itself. And a lot of times I hear like a lot of the alcoholics, a lot of the meth addicts I hear, they just do it to stay warm and like to stay up, because you can't sleep usually. Like my boyfriend, he's on day 11 of being up.
Being up for day 11 on speed?
Because he has to be up like to make sure that I can stay rested. He's the one who usually goes out and make money if I'm not. Like we take intervals, but he's also kind of like the leader of our group. So kick
Is
it
there a
with.
lot of like gang activity out here that's like pushing this stuff, or is it like how's like is it the homeless selling this stuff, or is it
It's not even the homeless. It's funny because it's a lot of the freaking like the kids who live in suburban areas coming down here and
selling this stuff?
trying to sell it. Yeah, like my boyfriend, he's actually a dealer out here, but he's one of the few people I know that's actually like gang affiliated out here. So.
So it's not really organized. This is
Yeah,
like whoever has it.
Yeah, and this is the first place I've ever seen where it's a lot of it's predatory based, where a lot of the guys are selling it to try and get girls hooked,
Oh.
to try and take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So, sorry about
Do
that.
you have a story where you seen like something where you really question humanity, where it's like I can't believe that happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first one out here, I have them all over, but out here, I think the first one was a friend of mine overdosed, and he kind of been caught up stealing from a bunch of people. Everyone just got up and walked away. Like, if I hadn't stayed, they would just let him die right there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. There was another one where there's this guy, he literally threw a girl out of his car. And I literally had to be grabbed to stop to get away from the situation because I didn't understand why they didn't want to like intervene. But out here, you kind of intervene, you get into even more trouble. And it's just a lot of that. A lot of life out here is really kind of like. I mean, I had a friend who died in his car and we found him frozen. Like last year during December, I have a friend who was raped really brutally and his body was found over by the AMPM. And like you could tell, I mean.
So you saw this in 1 year?
Yeah, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like.
What do you think you can do to get off this and like get off these streets?
I mean, a lot of it sometimes is like catching too for some people. For me, I think it's just getting a job, and I would say people want to go to two extremes and it doesn't work. You don't want to be on drugs and go on the streets and go kind of off like society's normal path, and then go extremely like rehab and back to that, and it doesn't work. I always say the best way to kind of get someone back into kind of a normal, stable life is to gradually bring that stability. Because like drugs is, like I said, usually symptomatic of something, whether it's mental health is not being taken care of, whether it's boredom, whether it could be a free basket case of stuff. But I really think that if you address those things and you slowly kind of get them, people need a purpose out here, bro. Like you kind of find yourself not like losing your hobbies, not really knowing yourself. If you gave someone like outlets for that, and if like. Out here, like I know a lot of people, if you had freaking canvases and art supplies and stuff out here, they wouldn't even be doing drugs. They'd sell all their drugs for that shit. But I think it's just giving people a purpose. And gradually kind of...
How do you think you could be able to hold a job with your heroin addiction and speed addiction, do you think?
I mean, I did it. This is my first year on the streets. I was usually holding 3 jobs, actually, when I was on heroin and speed. And I was picking up, like, over $1,000 of heroin at the time. And I was taking care of 3 other people. Yeah, and I was taking care of 3 other people. It's all about driving. That's what I'm saying. I think the misconception out here is that you have to completely be sober. I mean, the goal should be sobriety, but because again, it's usually a band-aid to stuff. But like honestly, it's just about drive. You give up out here really fast, and there are a lot of bad people though that like kind of being off society's good because then you don't have to kind of live up to the expectations.
So I know like a lot of people won't understand. How is it that you can like cycle off? Like you can go to like fentanyl to heroin to speed. Like how is that possible? Like what's the cycle in that?
So for like me and a lot of people I know, and like heroin and all the drug dealers kind of like, whether it's on purpose or really, I know a lot of them are lying, but a lot of them actually kind of just kind of cut off heroin, and eventually you're kicking. Like for me, I was fine actually quitting, but I was living with my baby dad at the time, and he screamed for 3 days straight and got kicked out of where we were living. And it was, and he had like really bad seizures, so I ended up picking fentanyl. And it wasn't until I lost my eyesight that I like really got hooked, because we were going through like a gram. We went from going through a gram in a week and a half to a gram in a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and then with speed, I mean, the speed, usually people freaking like kind of, it's weird because it's meth. It's strange how casual it might seem, but it's one of the drugs that I almost kind of make kind of akin to a weed. People kind of just like introduce it to you in such a non-scary way. You can find yourself doing it kind of casually because there's no really physical withdrawals, but there are mental like struggles. You want to go back to it. It like makes you like want to do a bunch of things at once. You feel like you're on top of the world, But I mean, a lot of people do downers and uppers, On heroin, you'll see it on fentanyl all the time over here. People are nodding off it, which is like dozing off on the street while they're standing up and stuff.
Yeah.
We call it noodle grooving when they're like doing weird dances and stuff.
Okay.
So you want meth to like stabilize that, because then you're not asleep. Because I mean, sometimes I've literally seen people like fall on their face.
Wow.
Yeah, man. But heroin, I mean, then you have the crazy I hear that like, and this is really looked down upon out here, and if it was anywhere in the drug world, but just try and go to fentanyl. They didn't go from heroin to fentanyl, and I mean fentanyl will kill you so fast. Yeah, and basically it's a game. It's like Russian roulette for them. Will you survive every time you overdose so you get a tolerance, or will you die before you even do that? So,
Oh man.
yeah.
So it's 50-50.
Yeah, it's like, and most people that do one do the other eventually. Like, it's kind of a joke. I hear that a lot of the like tweakers and people that did white first were talking like down on like the people that are doing Fetty, and now actually the people that were talking down are the biggest numbers out here.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I mean I'm telling you though, I heard a friend say this one time, and I really agree with it. After a while though, every opiate addict doesn't want to be addicted to that. It's the physical withdrawals. Like, you're literally trying to beat the clock until you feel that. So I mean,
how are you making money to? I know your boyfriend sells drugs, but how are you making money out here?
Oh, I rob a lot of the creeps out here. Like, I have an infamous story where at the Days Inn, there's this guy and he was hitting on women all week, like trying to bring them to his room, and he'd get them high and try and get them to sleep, and then he'd try to do things. And so I went up to his room. I lured him out to where I was, went up to his room, made him trust me. I see the 2 days made him trust me enough to like where he took his shower and left his wallet out there, and even told me to go grab $5 to get McDonald's. I took off like $8,000.
Oh, okay, so you're like a booster almost.
Yeah, boosters do street stores and stuff.
I forgot the term for that though, but I know what you're talking about. So yeah. So how else do you make? Have you ever tried to have you had to sell yourself out here?
No, I mean, I know a lot of girls that do. I don't judge them at all, but I always say if you're a girl out here, you should be smart enough to never. I kind of girls to say I've never have to touch it.
So that was
like a lot of girls do it out here because you have to be kind of really you have to really think outside the box to not do that. I mean, most of my friends do that. You know, it's like the easiest way to do it. And but
so how do you continually make money if like the word gets out like, oh, she's scamming me? Like, what else do you do to make money out here?
Well, I got really lucky because I said I was pulling 3 jobs, and I was also picking up, so I had a habit to feed. I kind of got hella lucky. I have Sugar Daddies out here that like. Okay, I used to be an escort. I say the difference between an escort, hooker, and prostitutes is you don't get paid to have sex or anything. You get paid to go on dates. So, and if they want to have sex with you, they'd have to pay extra. And usually you're starting off with $100 just to get talked to, and then like $500 to like $3,000 to go along with them.
So you escort right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a sugar daddy that's working for Elon Musk. I have another one who, the weather checks that you get from electrical companies and your phone companies, he's in charge of all of that for.
So these individuals find you wherever you are, like they know your situation right now, but they want to get you off the streets.
Well, I mean, drugs, man. Up until like 2 months ago, I was hooked on fentanyl. Fentanyl is like it started off being $120 per gram, and then now it's like down to 60 or 80. Ooh. But a lot of times you're not going to get $60 or $80 right away, so you get stuck in the cycle of picking like 10, and you're wasting your money faster than you're making it.
It's like the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. And like you really have to be financially smart, like to freaking have an addiction, and I kind of fell off with that, so it's just like I was just spending all my money on that, because what you try and do is try to pick up the largest amount, but then you lose it, gets stolen, and then you have friends that are trying to smoke too, and then next thing you know, 3 grams you brought us over in like 2 days.
So these individuals are like funding your habit, or are you doing other stuff?
They don't know they are.
Yeah.
Like they have no idea they are.
Okay, so you have like a Cash App or something they're giving you?
Yeah, Cash App. I got Cash App. Sometimes they drive out here and see me. They'll like book a hotel room for me. They know I'm homeless, and it's just like a lot of them. They still are interested in me. So a lot of them, they only want to take me off the streets if it's to live with them. So they'll fund it, but yeah, it's a game of kind of keeping them linked without having to ever do anything.
So if you ever went with them full time, you wouldn't be able to get the access to the addiction you have right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's just I probably could honestly, but it's just like. I've been kicked out of places so often, and like had like been lied to about like the security of my living circumstances so much. I don't want to live under anyone else's roof until it's mine.
I hear you.
But I'm really lucky, and I met this guy who's a realtor out here, and I'm actually really close to having my own place because he's really like passionate about the homeless crisis, and he's actually, I don't know if you've ever heard of pods, like homeless pods.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's actually responsible for buying a lot of the land for that and funding a huge part of that.
That's beautiful.
And he and a lot of the people that he has running under him, he puts his rent way under the freaking like how much the rent is at the time, because he wants people to stay as long as they need to, and he also is really involved in getting them into housing programs, and Yeah, so he's the one who really got me interested in looking for like different programs and stuff.
Well, I
So,
wish you the best, because you know we're out here all the time, helping. You know, we want to assist you the best we can now with you and your puppy. And you know, if you ever see us, just talk to us, and we'll do what we can to help.
I mean, for real, yeah.
Thank you so much.